Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel where the fun never ends with Mandela Effects. Welcome all Mandela Effectings to my channel. Hey guys. So again, I'm trying my best not to work off of a script here. Okay, I get really anxious in front of crowds and everything. But yeah, there's this line in the Bible, um, very famous verse. In my Father's house, blank, many mansions. Okay, it's from John 14, verse 2. And the way I remember it, and I've talked to a bunch of other people, in my Father's house there are many mansions, is what I've always been taught. And they seem to have taken that word, they've removed the word there, so now it still sounds the same, it still has the same meaning, but it's different now, because now it says, in my Father's house are many mansions. It doesn't make sense. And I've only found one translation that still has it. It's DRA, the DRA translation. In my Father's house there are many mansions. If not, I would have told you, because I go to prepare a place for you. And I seem to remember, I go now to prepare a place for you. That's sort of what I remember, but I could be wrong about that one. I do know it was, in my Father's house there are many mansions. There's a couple of YouTube videos that Teresa's here with me. She's my residue hunter. She's found some stuff. In my Father's house there are many rooms, from the NIV. Right here it quotes it word for word. But the only thing is, it's not there anymore. This is from another thing right here, another article. This is from the Catholic catalog, and then she said, "In my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you." I cannot remember when I first heard that scripture, John 14:2. I know I heard it a long time before I could read it, but I've always heard it in church, from the pastor. It is church talk, the words of Jesus printed in red. You see, this person remembers it vividly. And this is another one that Teresa found. It says right here, in my Father's house there are many mansions, by Father Paul A. Duffner. And right here it says, uh, to the apostles the night before he died, our blessed Lord assured them, let not your heart be troubled, right? And it says right here, there are many mansions. I know it's sort of cut off. Melissa Music quotes it right here. I know what the Lord has for her. In my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, Juanita would have told us, it says. That's just a quote. In my Father's house there are many mansions. Okay. This is another one, the universal meaning. This is like a YouTube video here of, in my Father's house there are many mansions. They quote it word for word. This is a pastor. In my Father's house there are many mansions. Why would they say that if it weren't so? This is another YouTube video. In my Father's house there are many mansions. I'm just trying to go through this as we go on here, and I wish I could find the audio, but time is moving so fast here. I'm just trying to get these videos out. If you guys have any residue you'd like to submit, by all means place them there in the comments. Place the link. I'd be most grateful. Okay. If you go on Twitter, Twitter is lighting up. In my Father's house there are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you. It's all over here. And I'm seeing both in some cases, but I know, right? In my Father's house there are many mansions. I don't know, guys. Let me know. This is submitted for your approval. I also found a few books here. This is one, namely, that I found. I wanted to make sure that this didn't disappear, so I took a snippet of it, okay? This is the book called I'll Close My Eyes, But I Won't Be Asleep, by Alyssa Adler. And in the text it says right here, I wonder what to tell her, not wanting to deny her where she says she wants to go. The only verse I remember her ever quoting from the Bible comes back to me. In my Father's house there are many mansions, so I say it. Remember, Mommy, what you used to tell us. In my Father's house there are many mansions. You said it often, in a way that suggested its meaning was so obvious I never asked you what it meant. but I never knew. Where does it say that? Do you remember? And then she says right here, I pull my grandmother's Bible from the shelf, blow the dust from the gold top pages, turn to the table of contents, wonder, then to the laptop I Google the words, in my Father's house there are many mansions, and there it is. Here it is, John 14 verse 2, so I read it to her. In my Father's house there are many mansions. You see, there is 100% proof. Somebody looked it up online, they actually turned to their Bible, and that's what it said. And regardless of, I mean, it's very possible it could have been from the DRA translation, but how many people actually own the DRA translation? I think this is a universal thing. I remember it very clearly. Teresa, you there?
Yes.
Hey, I wanted to thank you for finding all the fantastic residue, okay?
Oh, you're welcome.
It's crazy how our memories have shifted, or we've shifted realities. I'm sure we'd all like to get to the bottom of it.
Oh, I just found another one.
All right, but
I can't.
I know I can't jump over there right now. That's the only thing. I don't want to reveal everyone's names. Okay, so but
check this out.
Well, like I said, I can't turn over to it. I don't want to reveal people's names. But anyway, guys, thanks for checking me out. Have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless.
Yeah.